Hello, welcome back to another episode of Internal Rambles. This is your girl, Rochelle, and I am back. Listen, it is 2026. I hope that you had a really amazing holiday season. Happy New Year's. We are back. Happy New Year. We are back to recap and review Ready to Love. I am 4 episodes behind, and we are going to discuss all 4 of those episodes today, okay? I'm going to be recapping episodes 6 through, let me look now, episodes 6 through 9. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about. I hope that you are doing well. I am doing well. And I got a lot of notes here, so grab you a snack, grab you something to sip on, some water, juice, or your drink of choice, and let's get into what is going on with these singles. Okay, let's not wait, let's not hesitate, because 4 episodes, child, is a lot to talk about, okay? We are going to start off with episode 6. That episode was titled The Deep End. Alrighty. Quick little disclaimer, I am trying out a new microphone, so hopefully this sounds great. If not, I will return back to my previous microphone. Alrighty, so episode 6 begins where we learn who is going to be eliminated, and the bottom 2 was, I believe, Christina and Donna. And if you remember Christina, she was about them dollar bills, y'all. She wanted a man who was going to be able to treat her and take care of her. Donna, they were concerned about her not being aligned. The men were concerned that she was not aligned with them in spiritually or religion wise. Ultimately, Christina got up out of there because the men did not want a woman who was just only or primarily concerned about their wallets. In this episode, Tommy instructs the singles to go deep and lay it on the line, discuss their past and their fears, and dig deeper. So first up, Nicole sets up a group date with Donna, Ashley, Vince, Chris, and Steve, and they go do hot yoga. We see Chris and Donna, and Chris talks about how when he was a child he had low self-esteem, but that he learned how to be a talker, and that helped him in relationships, and that helped him to connect with women. Donna says that puts things in perspective for her, and that the way that he over talks in conversations is actually very off-putting, aka Chris talk too much. Ashley talks to Vince and says that she discloses that she hasn't been totally honest, that it's not that she does not want children, it's just that she is scared that she will be a bad parent. Vince offers her some encouragement and reassures her that as long as you do your best, that is all that you can do. As long as that you're doing what you can and in the best interest in the children, for your children, you will be okay. And that was really a reaffirming to her and reassuring for her. Next up, we see Donna and Steve off talking, and Steve shares that his mom passed away, so RIP to his mom, and that as a result he doesn't have a maternal figure to discuss his relationships about, and that he believes has affected his relationships in the past, that he now kind of he reaches out and talks to the women figures in his family, etc., but that he understands that that may have been that may have negatively impacted relationships previously. Donna, the fact that he has opened up to her, that she now feels as though she's getting to know Steve finally, that she's actually connecting with him, so she's actually liking Steve a bit more. At the end of hot yoga, Ashley and Chris are leaving, and Chris shares that several months prior to being on the show, he fell in love with a woman really quickly, and then she ghosted him. Ashley did not like this conversation. She says that she cannot stand a man that has a bruised ego, and she feels as though as a result of this relationship, Chris is not being vulnerable with the women on the show, and that they should not be held at fault, or that as a result of that relationship, they're kind of not getting to know Chris as a result of what he's endured in the past, and that's not their fault. So I don't know. I kind of feel like the women they don't like Chris, and they are very, very harsh on Chris. They feel like he taught too much. He got a bruised ego. Like, Chris is kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. For whatever reason, he just cannot seem to have a positive connection for too long with the women. Even though I think there was one woman that he was connecting with, and I can't remember because it's been a bit since I've been reviewing. I think was it Shannon? I can't remember now, but for the most part, he's not doing too well with the ladies. Bello has a date with Lauren, and he discloses that he has a 1-year-old child, which we did not know about. He says that it was a one-night stand. It wasn't anything planned. It wasn't anyone that he was in a relationship with. Once it was definite that the child was his, he is actively in the child's life. So Lauren is relieved that she knows this. This is not a deal breaker for her, especially because he is active in the child's life. And when I was watching this back, I kept thinking to myself, does Dominique know about this 1-year-old child? Because I don't recall them or him having this discussion with her. So I don't think Dominique knew about this child, which is very interesting. Next, we have Dominique and Cardi. They go on a trivia night date, and at the trivia night, they are asked questions about the Backstreet Boys, which they don't know any of the answers. And I was kind of surprised about that, because I know Dominique supposedly is around my age, and even if you're not a fan of their music, you don't know anything about the Backstreet Boys. To me, that was kind of weird. But then also, it's kind of weird who set up that date for trivia night, because usually my thought is before you go to trivia night, you kind of find out what type of trivia that they're asking questions about, because if it's trivia you don't know about, why would you go to it? And it seemed like it was trivia that they knew nothing about, so why would you go to that type of trivia night? Okay, but anyways, I was just so perplexed by that. That was super weird for me. So Cardi asked Dominique if she is wanting to, I think he asked her if she is willing to get remarried again, and she does say that she wants to get remarried again. So Cardi, I think that Cardi likes Dominique. They're not a match. I think they like each other, but they're not a match. Long story short. um, Lauren, next date, Lauren, Shannon, Devin, and Darius go to a speakeasy, and they each have to share something that, basically something deep about one another, like that they're willing to share. So Shannon shared that she, when she was in, I think, grad school, she fell and got a concussion, and it impacted her speech, and it still impacts her to this day. Devin shared that he learned from his parents what type of relationship that he doesn't want to be in, and that to make sure that he's healed before he goes into a relationship. Lauren shared that her parents had a tumultuous relationship, and she learned also what relationships should not look like. And that darn Darius shared that when he was a kid, girls used to kiss his hands and call him King Darius. And it's like everyone else had something deep, something non-surface level. Who was calling you King Darius? And why do you think that that was something that shows who you are as a person? That's something, maybe like an icebreaker, like a joke. That was nothing deep. Darius is playing on this show, by the way. And they all was side-eyeing him like, what? So that was their date, their group date. Nicole and Ed go on a single date. Nicole asked Ed what was one of the most painful experiences that he's been through, and his response was that he has a high tolerance for pain. Basically, Nicole, she had a crush on him from high school, no, from college. He is not opening up to her. I think he likes her as a person, but I definitely don't think that he wants to get into a relationship with her. And Nicole, she shared that she, one of her deal breakers in a relationship is a man who's not open and vulnerable. And Ed is showing that he's not willing to do that for you. Bello and Ashley go on a date. Ashley shares that she was in a relationship with a man who struggled with his mental health. She was very tearful when she said that that was a very challenging relationship for her. Bella was very supportive, and it was that's my notes. That was a very, she really appreciated how supportive that he was to her in that moment. In the ladies' lounge, the bottom two men were Chris. They felt as though Chris was insecure and overpowered them in conversations. Ed, they feel he's emotionally unavailable. And even though Nicole likes him, they don't believe that the feeling is mutual, that he wants to be in a relationship with her. And ultimately, they sent Chris and Ed packing. So not just one guy, they sent both of the men packing. Okay, y'all, we gotta keep this train rolling because I got 3 more episodes to talk about. Episode 7 was titled Meet the Detroit Exes. So in this episode, the men are in power, and Tommy instructs them to have their connections meet their exes, obviously. Cardi has Dominique. Shannon and Ashanti meet his ex, she starts off guns blazing and asks Dominique, "Are you high maintenance?" Dominique says that she doesn't really know how to answer that. She says, if she is, it's something that she can afford herself. She doesn't need anyone to pay for it. So the ex says, well, if you do, Cardi makes good money, so he can afford to pay for, anything that you need. And so Dominique is like, oh, does he make good money? We haven't discussed that. That's great. And I was like, that's such a weird response. Like, why? First of all, why are you telling her that he makes good money? That's something that he should discuss with her. But then also, the question was kind of weird. It just was a weird interaction. I don't know. Ashanti comes in and, she inquires about her interaction with Cardi and how she feels about him. And she's like, oh, Cardi, that's my dog. That's my boy. And Cardi's ex is like, what? And they go back and forth about that. And, she basically is like, that's not something you say about someone that you're romantically involved in. And she was like, are you sexually attracted to him? Like, and they start talking about that and sexual chemistry. And she's like, that's not something I really want to talk to you about. Cardi tried to diffuse it, but not really. They go back and forth and they have a heated exchange. Shannon, poor girl, doesn't even really get to talk during this date. Ultimately, Cardi, of course, does not like Ashanti. She feels there's no connection there. She likes Dominique. She feels like that's the one that he has the best connection. And she thinks Shannon is nice, but Dominique was the number one, according to Cardi's ex. Ashanti don't got no connections on this show. I'm going to say this probably multiple times today, but she just don't. And it showed, especially saying that Cardi is her dog. Like, why would you say that about somebody you're trying to date? You don't. You know why? Because she don't have no true, like, romantic connections with nobody. Darius has his ex meet Nicole and Ashley. Nicole shares that she is not as confident of a woman, and Ashley, at the end of the date, he gives Ashley some fur that looks horrendous. And I'm like, Darius, leave the animals alone, please. Ashley, the ex really liked Ashley. The ex did not like Nicole because of the fact that she seems not as confident. Darius is playing on the show. I really didn't have much, honestly. I didn't write much down. That fur thing threw me for a loop. Bello had his ex meet Dominique Ashanti, and the ex felt that Ashanti gave Bello homegirl vibes, that Dominique that she really seems to be really into him and connect with him on a romantic level. Vince's ex met Donna Nicole and Ashanti. They asked what was the major issue in their relationship, and she says that Vince was very argumentative. He was combating that statement right then and there. They were going back and forth on that. And I'm like, yeah, because he argues with everybody, like almost everybody. The ex asked, like, what kind of your day-to-day life is. Ashanti shares that she likes to shake and move. She likes to go out. And the ex says that, well, that's going to probably be an issue for Vince because he's a homebody. Ultimately, the ex liked Donna better. Steve had his ex meet Donna, Ashanti, and Lauren. Donna shared that if she's with the guy, she's okay with moving in after 3 months. If it's good, if the going is good, let the good get going. That kind of threw Steve for a loop because he felt that was kind of quick. That is kind of quick, Donna. 3 months. The ex really liked Lauren. They felt that she was more aligned with who he is as a person. And Ashanti, girl, like I said, she ain't got no connection. She was the, I think, least that the ex thought he was connected to. If memory serves me correctly, it may not be. Devin had his ex meet Dominique, Nicole, and Shannon. Nicole stated that she does not like that Devin be talking to other women. And I'm like, you do know he's on a dating show. Yes, no, maybe so. Shannon says that she loves that he is caring. And Dominique also said a lot of positive things about him. The ex thought that Shannon, I think the ex thought that Shannon was his number one connection, which I agree, child. Shannon is the one for you, Devin. Pay attention and listen. The bottom 2 women were Ashanti. The men felt as though she had homegirl vibes and that she's at a different life stage than some of the men. Nicole, she has insecurities, and the fact that she doesn't want them talking to other women was a red flag. Ultimately, Nicole was sent home, which I kind of agree with. She definitely had some insecurities that you can't really have, especially being on a dating show. That was that. All right, y'all, we running through this. Episode 8. What was that title? Let me see if I can get it. The women are in power, and Tommy instructed them to have them meet their friends. So this is called Meet the Detroit Friends. They're not really getting too creative with the titles here. Ashanti had her friends meet Bello, Steve, and Cardi. Ashanti confronts Cardi about their previous date where his ex confronted her, and she feels as though he could have handled the situation better and took up for her more. And, he basically told her, listen, I did my best. She didn't like that, though. The friends confront Bello because he says that he's Muslim and that his woman will not have to convert. One of Ashanti's friends is Muslim, and she's like, you sure about that, bruh? And he's like, no, she won't have to convert. I'm okay with that. I don't know, Bello. The friends feel as though after the end of the date that Steve needs to improve his confidence. I don't think that Steve is not confident. I just think he's really laid back. That's it. Shannon has her friend Mercedes meet Darius, Steve, and Devin. Mercedes was on Ready to Love Miami. And none of them could say that she was his number one. She was either in their top 2 or their top 3. Devin got 4 connections going on, so that was a concern for Mercedes, that she doesn't seem to be in any of their top. Also, Devin says that he needs a year. I think Devin and Steve said that they needed at least a year before they know if they want to marry someone. So Mercedes said that she doesn't think that either three of them should be her top connection because they are not sure enough about her. And I agree, they were very wish-washy. And Devin should have Shannon as his top connection because Dominique is not his top connection, but he got almost every woman as a connection for him, and that should not be. Lauren has Vince, Bello, and Steve meet her friends. Vince gets into another heated argument with her friends when they inquire about his height. This was such a pointless, this could have been an easy, fun, lighthearted conversation, but of course Vince has to be disagreeable. Steve was not assertive. Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes. Not assertive enough. And Bello, they said that he was a smooth talker, even though Vince was kind of getting into with the friends. They still had him as number one. I don't understand how Vince keeps being people's top connections. You know, it's like this really weird, he do something, but then they're like, but it's okay, he's still great. He has all these red flags, and it's like they all ignore it. I don't really understand why this is. Let me not. Ashley has her friends meet Darius and Cardi. Her friends feel as though Cardi is just very surface level. They couldn't really get anything deep out of him. Darius, they liked him, but they didn't. Ashley and the friends wonder if he can get deep and not be. They think it's a connection there, but they're not sure how deep he can get because Darius is playing around at the end of the day. Dominique had Vince, Bello, and Cardi meet her friends. Dominique had Devin, Bello, and Cardi meet her friends. And I'm skipping Donna. Sorry, let me go back to Donna. Donna had Vince and Steve meet her friends. Her friends were concerned that he doesn't really have a timeline for marriage or anything like that. And Steve, they thought that he could be a really good connection because he seems more clear on what he wants. Okay, now Dominique had Devin, Bello, and Cardi. Devin could not identify who his top was or his clear feelings for Dominique, and Dominique's friends ate him up, chewed him up, spit him up, and spit him out. He could barely even speak. It seemed, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they were not feeling Devin because he was not sure or could not affirm what he felt for Dominique. Bello seemed to identify that he felt a very strong connection with Dominique, and so did Cardi. That was the end of the episode. All right, y'all, we at the finish line. Last episode. Are y'all with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay, episode 9. This was called the Detroit Getaway, part 1, I believe. So we start it off at the women's lounge, and they discuss who are in their bottom 2. They feel as though Cardi gives textbook answers, and he's very surface level. Devin, he's not as confident. He got too many connections, and he says one thing behind closed doors but in public, he doesn't state who he is connecting with or who his top is. Ultimately, they sent Devin home. So we are now at the part that happens every season. All the singles, they go on a getaway to mix and mingle and see who is feeling who. And drama always happens as well. And in this part, the women are in power. Starts off a little like, what's gonna happen? Because Dominique said, Bello is my man, and she put his belongings, his bag in her room. Lauren sees this and she's like, wait a minute now, because I'm still checking for Bello. I hope he ain't planning on sleeping in there. We'll have to see what happens with that, right. David and Shannon talk, and they're not David, I'm sorry, Darius and Shannon talk, and he says he was in an 11-year off and on relationship with a stripper. I'm in love with a stripper. And he says that he thought that he could change her, I guess turn her life around, whatever, and it did not happen. So Shannon was very concerned, about why he was in a relationship with a stripper for so long. What do you mean you thought you could change her? So this really had Shannon side-eyeing Darius. We all side-eyeing Darius. But anyways, Lauren talks to Bello and asks him if he's still emotionally available. He says nothing has changed. What are you talking about? And it's because, listen, you are clearly pretty locked in with Dominique. People see what's going on. She didn't say your stuff is in her room, but she wants to know, if she's going to be wasting her time trying to still get to know you or not. Like, it's valid questions. Because at the end of the day, like, I think he's still trying to be open, but you not really open, I think, to the process, because Dominique, one way or another, she's you guys are doing one thing but showing another. She's showing like, you my man, but I'm going, still hang out with others and pretend like I'm a part of the process, but I'm with you though. Later on, Bello and Dominique discuss marriage, and Bello says that he thinks that 2 years is a good time to be in a relationship before marriage, and Dominique is agreeable to that. The group discussed lessons that they learned in the process. Cardi says that he's learned that not everyone is going to appreciate you and your best attributes. Ashley says that that's why people call you shallow, and this starts a big debate where he's having to defend himself. He says he feels very misunderstood. Dominique says that Cardi's not shallow, that he's been very open with her, but it's just that he hasn't been with the rest of the group. And, I think it's challenging. Like, these dating shows are very hard, and, I think he tries to be open, but it's not well received by some of the other women. So, I don't know. Vince and Lauren discuss when he met her friends and the argument. She shares that she doesn't know why he took it so far and was so argumentative. Vince feels as though the friends should take some of the ownership on what happened, and Lauren doesn't feel as though the friends were at fault. of course, Vince feels as though he was justified. I don't know why Lauren feels as though Vince is a connection, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't he call her a B? Like, why are you trying to see what's there? I don't know. In the morning, people discuss what room folks slept in. When Bello and Dominique were questioned, they were very hush-hush. Yeah, they slept in the same room with each other. They do a pottery painting thing. I guess we find out what happens with that later. We don't know. We don't know what man gets sent home. That'll be discussed next episode. Or no, we don't know what woman gets sent home. I think the men are in control in this episode. Yes, the men are in power. We don't know what woman gets sent home. I think Ashanti should get sent home. She does not. I think the men like her as a person. She's very pretty, but she does not have true connections in the house. When you're looking at the preview, she's still there, so she does not get sent home. That is it, y'all. I didn't really run through it, but that was 4 episodes. That is a lot. I skipped one part because I don't even know what I wrote there, and I don't think it's important because it's one sentence. But that is episodes 6 through 9. I'm liking the show. So that was my recap. This is my review so far. I'm liking this show. I'm so glad. I don't want to speak too soon. They did that really weird break in between, and I do think that they have some people that are truly, truly looking for love. I really appreciate that. Some people, I think that Vince needs to go. I think Ashanti needs to go. And I think Darius needs to go. I guess there's something going. I don't read like the gossip stuff about people. I don't look at like the social media stuff. I guess something may be going on with Darius. I don't even know. So I don't know what that is. But I don't think Darius is really there for a true like relationship either. So I think those 3 could go. But the others, I really like Bello. I really think the true connection is Bello and Dominique. So far, I really wish that Devin would have not been trying to be in with everybody and would have focused on Shannon, because I think that was his real true connection. I really like Steve. I think he is really super sweet. I like his maturity. I like his style. Very attractive. I don't know who I would put him with. I know he's kind of connected to Donna, but I don't know if I would put him with Donna. Maybe. Is he connected? Let me look at his is he connected to maybe him and Shannon. See, I don't know how. I want him to explore more with Shannon. I would rather him be with Shannon, but I don't know if they're a strong connection. I really, really like Shannon, so we'll see. But I still like the season thus far. I think it's been good. So we will see. We will see what happens. And that is my 4 episode recap and review. The next episode is it I'm checking right now. I'm pretty sure it's coming on, because I don't think they've skipped any episodes. I don't think they have skipped any Yep, it's coming on Friday. And that's episode 10, The Detroit Getaway. Yep. So that's that. So I know my schedule has been really, really wonky. With the holidays, I wasn't intending to do a 3-week break. So still continuing to review Ready to Love. Be on the lookout sometime this month. I really should stop saying time frames because I haven't been sticking to them, but I will be still doing my best of 2025 in entertainment. So best TV, movies, music, etc. that's coming out. And then we'll, of course, once all this wraps up, we'll get back to my trendy entertainment topics, okay? So thank you for sticking with me. Take care of yourself. Self-care is very important. Do what you need to do for you. And subscribe to me if you haven't done so. Let me know what you're doing, what you are thinking about these recaps, this show. And take care of yourselves. And until next episode, this is your girl, Rochelle.